telling us about the, how it is being a full-time and waking up in the morning and doing his meals and the cardios and whatnot. So that's
I got you.
something you guys can both relate to.
Yeah. Like I'm fortunate, right? Like I have good sponsors, and like I said, I have an online coaching business. I don't do contest prep, I just do lifestyle. But between, BSN and Iron Rebel plus my coaching business, it allows me to focus on bodybuilding full time. So I'm very fortunate in that regard.
Right. I was like, yeah, so sponsors coming.
Yeah, and like all my sponsors are all stateside, which is just another reason why I need to move down to the US.
Yep.
Yeah.
You said BSN, Iron Rebel.
Just them. Yeah, just them right now.
Got you.
Yeah. I had a food prep sponsor reach out to me, and they offered me a really good contract, but they thought I lived in the US. So when I was filling out the contract, I noticed, and I took a look at the website, and they don't ship to Canada. So I had asked them, I was like, do you guys ship to Canada? And they're like, no, unfortunately we can't, because we can't risk food getting held up at customs.
Right.
Food would get spoiled if that happens. Because oftentimes when we order stuff from the US, it'll get held up for a couple days at customs. So yeah, we ended up kiboshing that one because it didn't work out, but that's okay. I'll make the move down there eventually.
Right. What were you thinking?
Vegas.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, Neil lives in Vegas, so he's bugging me. Neil Hill is my coach, so he's been bugging me. So yeah, it's looking like Vegas. I head down there next month actually. It's not too bad because where I live right now, it's about a 3-hour flight. So it's not terrible, but if I could live there, it would definitely be better. I usually last year I came down for a couple weeks while I was in prep and trained with Keon, trained with Neil. I know Regan is in Canada right now, but I know he heads back to Vegas here soon as well. Vegas has like become the new mecca of bodybuilding.
I was like, they're in Texas.
Yeah. I really like Texas. So Texas, like geography wise, is very similar to where I live right now. But Vegas just makes more sense for me being that Neil's there.
God, I got you. It's always cool being around the coach.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I have a really good relationship. I have a good professional relationship and personal relationship with him. So it works really well.
Got you.
And we're able to separate the two when it comes time to separate them. So yeah, and obviously I think that's a key component to success in a coach-client relationship.
Oh yeah, I agree. So it is with Justin and I as well.
Yeah, Justin's a beauty, man. Yeah, really good guy. Yeah.
It's funny because every year when we do prep, we'll get ready early, and I'm like, hey, since we're already ready, let's do another show.
Yeah.
And he's like, God damn it, And so this time we're getting ready for Legion, and you know how the man sent out emails for people to do the Pittsburgh Pro. So I screenshot and I sent it to him. And he sends me a voice message, and you could just hear the panic in his voice. I was like, bro, I'm just messing with you. I'm always messing with him. It's
only like 2 weeks apart, right?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's on the 10th and Legion's on the 3rd.
Right.
And then New York's the 17th.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Cal's right after that.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well.
Yeah. See, why not?
He loves competing.
I mean, if it was up to me, I'll do New York all the way through.
Justin's an awesome guy, man. I competed against his client Mike in South Florida at Boca Raton last year.
Okay.
My wife sat next to Justin in the crowd, and I can just hear them shouting over top of each other.
Yeah. It's funny because he competes when it comes to yelling.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah, dude.
By the time after the show, you're talking to him, his voice is gone. So you're like, what'd you say?
Yeah, Cook. Yeah, no, he's a good guy, man. He's super passionate. Yeah. It's good, good energy to be around.
Same thing. I met Neil in, I want to say Brazil. He's office close too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's a cool dude. He was talking to me backstage.
Yeah. He, you know what? And he would really like, he's a shape guy. So he'll really like your physique.
Oh yeah. When we were at the gym, we were talking and like just going on and on about that right there, shape.
Yeah. He's a big shape guy. So I actually start prep on Monday. So I was telling Josh earlier, I haven't prepped for like a singular show this long before because we're 18 weeks out from New York now.
Nice.
Usually Neil and I do about 10 to 12 weeks, but I wanted to do New York last year, but we pulled the trigger a little bit too late. And then come like 3 weeks out, we were kind of assessing and conditioning wasn't quite to the standard that we hold ourselves to. So we decided not to do it. I hadn't signed a contract or anything, so I didn't have to pull out, but I wanted to make sure that we were going to be ready in time this year. So prep starts Monday.
Nice, nice. Feels good to be back in prep, right?
I love being in prep, man. Yeah, I'm tired of stuff in my face.
Right. I was like, I need the structure back. It needs to come back now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what are you weighing at these days, if you don't mind me asking?
That was the question. Yep.
So what, we just started prep. I was 263, 64. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't feel it. Don't feel like it. Which is a good
What?
thing, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, your body. I was looking. Your body composition's really good. So
Yeah, we staying lean. Like even when we first started the off season, Justin was like, the goal is for you to lose your abs. And, you know, so I would like eat a big breakfast from Denny's, like, you know, French toast, eggs, bacon, potatoes. I'll eat, you know, chicken rice. But after the gym is fast food and, you know, let me get a shake with that and all types of things, you know, but for some reason they just don't go anywhere, you know, so it's a blessing and a curse.
you know what? Hey, I feel that, man. I feel that because we're the same way. So, you know, Neil's like the diet wise, it's all clean food, but he gives me 2 cheats a week.
Right.
So I'm always doing like a burger and fries, and then like he'll send me for sushi, and he'll be like, "I want you to eat 60 pieces of sushi." So, I get, yeah, dude, like, yeah, that's a great look, man. That's a great
I
look.
appreciate you. Yeah, it's bad. I go to sushi and I eat more mussels than anything, so
Yeah,
I just keep ordering a plate of mussels.
you're another one of those guys that's putting on for the 212 guys in the open now.
Man, I love it because they hate it.
Yeah, dude, I love to see it.
Oh, this year's it'll be even better.
Oh, this year is going to be I think it's going to be a good statement piece.
Yeah, dude, that's a great. How long you been in prep now?
We just started last Monday.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. You're in a great place. Yeah, it's gonna be a good year.
Yeah, I was like, we'll still have cheats in all the way up until then, like we normally do. But I told him the conditioning that I want us to bring to Legion, I wanted to act like it's the Olympia. Like I want to come in crazy to where it's just like, damn, why are we going there?
Yeah, hell
you
yeah.
know? So yeah.
Yeah, that's like Neil and I and myself too. So last year we didn't run any thermogenics. We didn't run any like Clen or T3 or anything, just because we knew that I had added a fair amount of tissue, so we didn't want to risk burning it off.
Right.
So I didn't run any Clen or T3, but we came in great shape. But I think this year we won't be so worried about peeling off tissue, because that tissue will be obviously more mature. So I when I came in last year, I was 7 pounds heavier than when I competed in 2022.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was about 206. I figure this year will probably be around 208. Because realistically, I was 206, but I think I probably could have been about 205, 204 and a half. I could have been a little bit crisper. Like glutes were striated and whatnot, so we were in shape. But if you look, when I did Texas, when I made my pro debut, there I was fat free in Texas. There's nothing on me, so that's the conditioning that I would like to bring this year.
Nice. Okay.
So,
and of course, a lot bigger too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be a good year, man.
I can see you. You feel it.
Yeah, dude. I'm ready to prep. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to drop the hammer.
Yeah, I think this year when it comes to competing, it's gonna be way different. I think athletes are it's a different vibe coming into this year.
Yeah. Yeah, that was South Florida there.
And that was this the one with you and Mike?
Yeah. They Tim Gardner head judged that show, and yeah, he put Mike and I through like six rounds. Yeah, he posed us. It was a good show, man. It was a lot of fun. That was a highlight battle for me that Mike and I had there. It was a good time.
Yeah, I think those posing rounds makes the prep worth it.
Yes, dude. That's what I'm there for. Right. That's what I'm there for. So I competed in Toronto like 2 weeks before this show, and there was a tanning mishap. I worked with with Pro Tan for this show, and they killed it. They did an awesome job. But the tan was off in in Toronto, so the judges called me into the first call out, but they called 6 of us, and I was like, it was bad. I was green and blotchy, and I was like a chameleon. As I was hitting poses, the colors were like changing on me. So they put me on the end, and they didn't move me, so I didn't get a chance to really be compared to the guys. And so when I talked to the judges after, they're like, "Yeah, your tan hurts you." So it was nice to come here 2 weeks later and then really battle it out with Mike. So yeah, that was a difference from Texas to South Florida.
Oh yeah. It's crazy
got,
how the tanning could be the reason, you know, you can't control that.
Yeah, I didn't post any pictures because like the tan was that bad, but yeah, dude, I totally understood it. Like I got why they stuck me on the end. It was very distracting from what they were trying to look at. So
I got you.
Yeah,
it looks good.
Yeah, I had. Yeah, what kind of dogs do you
Tony's
have?
They kind of look like Rottweilers, I think. Yeah.
Puppies.
Yeah, puppies. And they go all night. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're like
my rockers.
They're like brand new, hey?
Yeah. About what's today, the 11th? So yeah, 11 days old.
Yeah,
they
wow.
were on New Year's.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. I get to the house and they're like, "Hey, the babies are coming." I'm like, "Ah, shit! 9 fucking puppies."
9 puppies. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I have
so 2. That's been consuming the time now.
Yeah, I have two chihuahuas.
I got you.
Yeah, they're characters though, man. I love them. They're good boys.
Right. I was like, you know, like having like big dogs. I'm like, damn, I wish I had some small ones because they're massive.
Yeah, I saw these little
chihuahuas.
Come on.
That one right there, that's Benjamin. He's 14.
Really? 14?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Duke, he's 2.5.
So here's this guy.
Boy.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He thinks he's a lap dog, so
they're always lap dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Too funny. Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, so that's my play.
Tonio's life's been consumed with those dogs and him working on his truck.
I think I just uploaded my last, or at least one of my check-in pictures there to Neil from Friday. I check in with him on Fridays right now, so that's the starting point. Before, yeah, that's the heaviest that's the heaviest I've ever been. So yeah, that was Friday's check-in. 234. So
and you think you'd be 208 on stage?
Yeah, I think so. I was 206 last year. I probably could have been 205 had I been a little bit crisper. So I figure it would probably be around 208.
I'm like, you don't look like you're holding anything here.
Yeah, we're really good body composition. I hold a lot of fat in my glutes and my back.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, glutes and back is where I hold it. But this is definitely my best starting point, that's for sure. So it was a good off season. We shut the season down a little bit early last year. After Tim judged me in South Florida there, he was really pushing me to keep going. He wanted me to come do Tampa again. But I sat down with Neil and we looked at, the field, and I knew I was getting out-muscled. The guys were just a little bit more dense than I was, carrying a little bit more tissue than I was. So could we have kept pushing and, potentially got that Olympia qualification? Sure. But I don't want to go to the Olympia and get lost in the crowd. You know what I mean? I know I can benefit from putting on some more tissue. So we ended up shutting it down in June after that show. And then took a little break, gave my body a rest, got the bloods all checked out. Everything was good. So started the off-season push after. And here we are now, ready to start prep again.
Yeah, hell yeah! You got to rewrite that Olympia appearance.
Yeah. So that's the goal this year, man. We want to get up on that Olympia stage. So that's the goal.
New York, make it happen.
Yeah, New York's a big one, right? It's a bucket list show for me. I've always wanted to do New York. My pro debut in 2022, I did Tampa, Texas, and then I did Vancouver. And then last year I did Toronto and South Florida. New York's the first 212 show of the seasons. I figure yeah.
Oh, wow.
Figure we'll kick things off with New York and then just go from there, see what happens.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Best case scenario, obviously, like if I were to win New York, which I'm not saying that. I'm very confident in my ability, but the 212 division, I think, has never been more exciting than it is right now. Obviously, Flex carried the 212 division on his back for a long time.
Right.
But when you look at the talent pool now, and there's a lot of up and coming, new blood, and Keon leading the pack is super exciting. I think, hypothetically speaking, of course, if I were to win New York, I would like to keep going. I would like to do more shows. I would like to keep going and just, continue to get more judges to look at me, to get more time up on stage. So, but ultimately, Neil steers that ship.
Yeah.
Right. With him, I just throw it on autopilot. He does the thinking for me.
Yeah, I feel like that's how it should be. Very different from what it was back, in the older days where they wanted to do a show and just did it.
Yeah.
And as we have mentors,
Yeah.
Because if it was up to me, like you said, it'll be New York, Cal, Pittsburgh, Detroit.
Sometimes it's good to have someone pull the reins back on you a little bit. Yeah.
How much does Justin do that for you, Tonio? Because how much does Justin do that for you? Kind of hold back those reins? Because we all know you love competing. So we look at this pro schedule next year, and you and Cody both, you win your first shows, New York, and then for you win Legion, right? You're gonna want to do all those extra shows, but I think there's always been that idea that you're going to be kind of ruining your stock if you go to a show and you don't win it, and you place behind somebody who maybe you could have beaten the week prior. Is that still kind of a worry? And is that what Justin kind of thinks of when he's trying to pull you back? Or is it more focused on giving you a longer prep for the Olympia?
Yeah, I think it's more so a longer prep for Olympia. Anytime any show we've picked, we knew a big name was going to come at some point. And it's always, this is what we wanted, because if we could get the look now, we'll get the same look again come Olympia. Even when we talk about this past Olympia, we don't go back and be like, oh, I wish we would have jumped in. I wish we'd have did this or that. It's kind of like, okay, cool. Now we know what to bring next year. And I hope everyone else brings something better next year, because we took the time off to grow, and that was the biggest thing, is he needs to be bigger. But me being 20, 30 pounds less than, even Martin, who was like 250 something at New York, I was only 220. And you show the pictures, we look just as big. So I'm just like, okay, well, let me add another 20 pounds on or so and see how things go then.
I think it's good too. And like, this is a thought process that I've always had. When I made my debut in Tampa, I was the only one in the first call out that wasn't an Olympian. So that had benefits of itself, because I was a new pro that the judges hadn't seen, but now I'm in an Olympia lineup.
Right.
Keon won that show. I got to stand next to Keon. Nathan Epler was still 212 at that time before he moved into the Open. Nathan. Yeah, Kareth got second to Baggio, got second to Keon at that show as well. So it gave me an opportunity to stand next to those guys and see how you stack up. So if you can get next to some of these big names, I think that comes with benefits as well.
So I don't believe in running from shows.
Yeah. I think it's competitive nature as well, so that's good.
Oh yeah, take it as a challenge. Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And I think that's where Justin's like, "Hey, it's okay, we can wait." Because I was thinking Detroit and like Pittsburgh. I'm like, that sounds cool. Why not? All these people are going. Why not go get involved in that? But yeah, let's just not compete too much. Let's win this show and do the Olympics. I'm like, all right, I'll try.
Yeah, I think
I'm stressing them out a little bit though.
Well, I think it's important too to assess how your body's responding, as the season goes on as well, and that's where Justin or Neil comes into play to kind of pull back the reins. If they can tell that we're kind of starting to run into the ground a little bit, that's where a break is good.
Right.
So kind of take a step back to take a leap forward, so to speak.
Right. How long were you with Neil? Oh wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, I got you. Where show did you turn pro at in 2019?
Vancouver.
The Vancouver Pro Am? Oh, wow. Oh no, I was there the year before. So I competed there, my second show ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go back.
Yeah, that's the show I turned pro at. Yeah.
Nice.
So back in the day, that show used to actually be downtown Vancouver on the convention center, just off the water. It was a beautiful location. Yeah. They used to have a big expo as well, because I remember in, I think 2015, 2015 or 2014 might have been the first year, but they had a big expo. I remember like Flex and Neil came and did guest speakings. Fuad competed at that show. That was like one of the first pro shows I went to. I think it was 2015. Rich Biana was there at the expo. They had a bunch of supplement companies, so it was a lot bigger production than what it is now.
Yeah, I got you. That's cool. Yeah, yeah. I want to get back to Canada. I liked it when I was out there for about a week.
Yeah, the summers are nice. You don't want to come out here in the winter though.
It gets dark. I think it gets dark really early compared to here.
Oh, so peak winter, it doesn't get daylight out till around 9 a.m. and then it's pitch black by 4 p.m.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, we get like 7 hours of daylight. It's honestly depressing.
Yeah, that I don't think I can handle.
No, dude, it's dark. It's cold. Yeah, it's not. It's, I don't know. There are of course beautiful aspects about Canada, but yeah, winters ain't it for me.
Well, I mean, Vegas gets cold. Not that cold, but
not like here. Not like here.
Well, yeah, it'll probably still be warm for you.
Yeah, I remember back when I was working with Steel, they're based out of Sarasota, Bradenton area in Florida, just south of Tampa. And my buddy Paul, Jason's brother, he likes when it's colder because he doesn't like heat, and of course he lives in one of the most hot, humid places ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are like bundling up in November, December, and I'm like tank top and shorts. I'm like, this is nice.
I wish I had this. Yeah. It's weird because like I'll see Justin doing his morning cardio and he's like walking down the street, no shirt on, with sunlight going, and I'm looking outside here and I'm like, fuck that. This 40 degrees is not for me.
I don't even walk my dogs. We don't even take them for walks in the winter because it's too cold.
Oh yeah, would they be able to handle it?
No.
Oh yeah.
No, dude, it's sad. So like, again, they're little chihuahuas, but like they'll go outside to do their business, and when it's cold, sometimes they won't even make it back to the stairs. I have to like run out and go grab them because they start doing this. They hold this foot up because it's frozen, then they hold this foot up. Yeah, and they start crying because their feet are freezing. So like peak winter here, I can spit and my spit will freeze before it hits the ground.
Wait, so is it like those videos where people have like the hot water in a pot and they throw it and it turns?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. I always want to try, but it doesn't get that cold here.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh, yeah, that's yeah, I'd move too.
Yeah, so that's why I'm moving to the desert. So
yeah, it gets cold, but not that damn cold.
I'm over it.
The heat though, that heat wave is crazy.
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah, we get, I mean, yeah, it is a dry heat. We get like our summers are nice. Our summers are actually beautiful here because we have the mountains, and then, you know, there's lots of lakes and whatnot, but it's just, bro, we get like 2 months of summer and then that's it.
Yeah, got you.
And then like I like fall, but we get like a month of fall maybe, and then it's just winter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, California and Nevada is where it's at. I think for bodybuilding.
California's on fire right now, so I don't know about California.
South California, near Oakland where I'm at, it's pretty nice out.
Do you experience any like are you dealing with any like heavy smoke out your way, or no? Not so much.
Nah.
I think the ocean winds are
they're right on the coast. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's blowing this way.
Well, I think that's, you know, part of that's actually like the main issue there is the wind, and I think that's why everything went so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's what they're saying. They were saying it's the devil's winds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's scary.
I haven't seen I think right when I moved here in 2020, we had fires in a little bit north of us. So there was like raining ash for days, which was like super weird coming from Kansas City where we had actual snow to coming to California where it's raining ash, and I'd leave the unit on base and I'd go to my truck and it'd be covered in ash. And I'm like, holy crap.
The air quality becomes very poor too. We've had fires like that here as well. Yeah, and then like, you know, when it's starting to get later, the sky's like orange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how we just had that too. It was called the Davis Creek Fire, which was our campgrounds we had here, and it just burned through everything.
Yeah, when fires like that happen, man, it goes quick.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Especially if it's really
crazy
dry.
how fast I guess the power fire has. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. That's Mother Nature showing you who's boss.
Right.
Yep. you can only mess with it so long, you know, especially California. We really manipulate the water and essentially creating our own droughts. So stuff like this happens all the time.
Did you see that they were doing Smart LA 2028?
Man, where's the tinfoil? Yeah, I see all that stuff, man.
I was like,
I'm so into that stuff. It's not good for my health. Yeah. I got to turn Facebook off after a while.
Yeah, I've dove down some rabbit holes too. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I fell into the trap. I seen it, and then I just started Googling, and I got deeper and deeper. I'm like, shit.
And you're like, they've been talking about this for how long?
Yeah.
God. And you're like, it's true.
I'm like, here it is, 3 a.m., and I'm still reading along.
It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope.
And then you start talking about the Anunnaki and the lizard people, and next thing you know, you're on a History Channel, and you're like, what?
Yeah. And it all goes back to Trump.
It always comes back to Daddy Trump.
Funny. Oh, Olympia, real quick. When you make it to Olympia, you'll win New York, go Olympia. What place do you see you placing it?
So the reason why I didn't keep going last year is because, when I go to the Olympia, I would like to go with the thought that I can crack that top 5. Obviously that's very ambitious. Your first outing to crack the top 5 and make that first call out. It's a very ambitious goal, but I just, for me, it's a little bit different with you open boys, right? Like it's a different ball game. But if I'm going to go to the Olympia as a 212 guy, I would like to at least crack that top 5 and have that be a realistic goal, because obviously I'm very confident in my ability, but I'm also a realist too. So my dream is 212 Mr. Olympia. And this is a tough pill for a competitor like myself. It's a tough pill for some people to swallow, but so long as a steer in the 212 ship, but in my opinion, he's unbeatable. He's too good.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah, shape and structure wise, I think, in my opinion, he probably has one of the best front double biceps going in the entirety of the IFBB right now.
Oh yeah, his shape is fucking crazy with
phenomenal.
It doesn't look real.
And like him and Amanda, like they're a great couple. And I think now that he's with Amanda, she's really instilled confidence in him, and now he sees it, and it's like a runaway train now. They're like, I think he'll carry that title for as long as he wants to.
Yeah, we were talking about that on one podcast about the power of having a woman behind you.
Yeah.
And
bro, we were talking
had a
about
conversation with them actually.
It's on your podcast.
She was saying, right, about how the vision board thing that she did for him, and had him write down what his goals were and how they were going to get it. And I mean, they're proof that this shit works.
I've known Keon for a long time. I've been talking to Keon ever since he was a classic competitor. Seeing where he has evolved mentally from then till now, it's huge. And I think Amanda's been a big part of that for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because even when I pulled from Olympia, he had one of the ones that reached out to me, because he's pulled from Olympia when he won Texas. And he was talking about everything that came with it from like fans and all that, and how he handled it and all that too. So he was definitely with me with that one.
Well, yeah. Well, social media, man. It's I think, how do I say this? I think bodybuilding casuals, and like the reason I say casuals is because I think people that are part of the bodybuilding community are some of the nicest people ever. Everyone's super supportive. Everyone's they're just nice, humble people. But every sport will have casual fans, whether it's MMA or hockey or baseball or whatever. But I think bodybuilding casuals, like the people on the internet, these aren't the people that are going to the Olympia. They're not going to these shows. They're just people that, they watch from a distance online. The bodybuilding casuals, man, have got to be some of the most like ignorant people on the internet, because like I know you've experienced it, and Keon has experienced it, and look how they flipped on him.
Mm-hmm.
They used to talk mad shit about Keon, about how he's all wasted potential, and now look at him.
Yeah.
And all fans. They're all fans now. But that's like I said, that comes. I think every sport has those kind of casual fans. It's kind of like that double-edged sword of the internet.
Right.
Everyone has a voice now.
Oh yeah, and everyone's a judge.
Yes. Everyone's an expert, a self-proclaimed expert. So yeah, but I guess that's the way she goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to the original question there. Yeah, I would like to go to the Olympia knowing that I have a fighting chance to make that top 5.
Got you. I mean, no reason why you can't.
Thank you.
You got it.
I think talking with Neil after South Florida last year, that was why we shut things down when we did, because I knew I could benefit from adding the tissue. So the judges' feedback was all positive. They didn't even tell me they wanted to see me bigger. They said I had the size. When I look at the guys that are edging me out, they're just bigger than me. They just carry more tissue. I think, so long as we keeping the midsection tight is always a top priority. So I think so long as I continue to grow and improve my physique while keeping my waistline in check, I'll benefit from that added tissue.
Yeah, I was like, it won't hurt to be a little bigger. You know what I mean?
That's bodybuilding, baby.
Yeah. Take what you have and compliment it some more. You know
yes,
what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. So that's something that, you've been able to do very well. That's why I was asking you what you were weighing in at, because you've been able to continue to add that density on and keep the things that make your physique so impressive. You kept all of those things and just continued to compound on that. So it's very impressive.
I appreciate you.
Hey,
We're
Cody,
trying.
You said you got like 6 more pounds to go till you hit your cap?
Yeah. So again, I think I could have been a little bit tighter. But based on what I weighed in at 206, so it's about another 6 pounds before I hit the 212 ceiling. So we'll see what I figure I'll probably be around 208 this year, but we'll see come New York.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
If I'm more, even better. But
yeah, right.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think you'll be more for sure.
Yeah, I kept things really tight, body composition was in a good place. I'm very similar to you, speaking at the beginning of the podcast here. I can eat a lot of food, but I'm someone that, like, if I miss a meal, the weight starts to come down.
Yeah.
I have to be on top of all my meals. I have to be on top of my hydration. One box goes unchecked, then I start to lose weight. So
it's like 7 pounds falls off.
Yeah, like I can get in shape, no problem, but like I have to fight for every pound that I put on.
Right. Oh yeah.
So it's
like
a double.
You said, with staying hydrated as well.
Yeah, dude. Even water. Like if I'm inconsistent with water, and like I'm usually getting in 5-6 liters, but if I get in like 3 liters one day and I step on the scale the next day, you can bet your ass my weight's gonna be down a bit. So I try to only weigh myself come check-in days. I try not to fixate on my weight too much.
Right. And that's what we did all this off season. I didn't even step on the scale. Like at all. I was like, nope. I'm not gonna drive myself crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So same thing with me. I would only weigh myself come weigh-in days.
Mm-hmm.
So
interesting. I got quite a few questions for you, Cody. And then we'll get into, people forget I'm a fan first. How do you do 7 meals a day?
So this year we kept it at 6. Last year we did 7. I was setting alarms. So when Neil made the decision to add in a 7th meal, I would set an alarm for about 1 a.m. If I went to bed a little bit later, it'd be 2 a.m. But what I would do is I would set an alarm, and I tried blending shakes and then bringing them to bed with me. But by the time, so I would do like protein, oats, almond butter, and a banana.
I thought you were going to say chicken. I'm like, oh man.
No, so we would do it. Yeah, we would do it in the form of like a shakes, but it would be like 80 to 100 grams of oats, a banana, 30 grams of almond butter, and then I'd have about 40 to 50 grams of protein from whey isolate. If I would blend that shake and bring it to bed, by the time 1 or 2 a.m. rolls around, it's like mud. So like you can't drink it, right? So what I started to do, and this worked well, I would run the oats through a coffee grinder and it would turn it to dust. Then so then I would take like the oat dust, put it in with water, almond butter, and the protein powder, blend that, and then I would bring the banana to bed. And then I would just drink that, eat the banana, and go back to sleep. And it's funny because my dog got in the habit of every single morning when my alarm would get up, I would sit up on the side of the bed. And my older dog, Benjamin, he would come and he would sit next to me and he would watch me drink my shake. And then as I would eat my banana, I would give him like a little bite of banana and then I would lay back down and he'd come lay on my side and go back to bed. And that was a routine for as long as we added in that 7th meal. So wow. It was funny when we got into prep and we took that 7th meal away, he would wake up, his internal clock would wake him up and he'd be like, bro, where's my banana? So yeah, he's a creature of habit, just like Dad.
Mm-hmm. Runs in the family. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we didn't get to 7 this year. We kept it at 6 this year. Yeah. And then we would do 2 cheats a week. So I would usually do a dirtier cheat. I would have 5 guys, and then I would do a sushi cheat. So I would have that every time. Digest well. It sits well, digests well. No inflammatory response. So I just keep it consistent. And even when I'm in contest prep, if Neil wants me to do a dirtier cheat, it's 5 guys. If it's clean, sushi.
Right.
I've been doing that for 7 years now that I've been working with him.
Keep it consistent with your cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's enjoyable. So, I enjoy it. I'm a creature of habit, like I said. So it works. Yeah.
What's your go-to meals during prep? Are you more of like a chicken breast guy or a red meat guy?
So we do red meat meals. I am like completely turned off from chicken. I'm just sick of it. I've been eating it half my life now. So I've been doing, I go through phases. So right now I'm back in an extra lean ground turkey phase. So instead of chicken breast, I'll do extra lean ground turkey. If I do chicken, my wife blends it for me, or not blends it. She takes an egg beater and she like runs the egg beater through it. And it's almost like pulled pork, but chicken. It's like pulled chicken.
Gotcha.
It's like, yeah. She shreds it with an egg beater. So if I do chicken, it's got to be shredded. Otherwise, yeah, I do extra lean ground beef. And then we'll do a steak meal. And then I'll either do steak or salmon. And then in the morning it's cream of rice, whole eggs, egg whites. Yeah, oats. It's weird. Sometimes oats are fine for me. Other times it bloats me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why for the most part in the morning, it's cream of rice. And then when I was doing that 7th meal, I found running it through the coffee blender or the coffee grinder that you would blend like coffee beans through, turning it to like an oat dust. I was okay. I wouldn't get bloated at all from that. So
that's why I'm not out of that.
Yeah. And then carbs is just rice or potato.
Yeah.
Have either of you experienced the issue with, for me, I can't eat oats. Like oatmeal, I can't eat it because it runs right through me. And I've never understood like the bioavailability or the like how it is different for each people. But you said sometimes it makes you bloated, so I was wondering if you ever had that experience.
It might be a wheat thing as opposed to like rice.
Yeah, rice is fine for me, but yeah, oats just right through me.
But yeah,
it's weird. But I grew up eating oats as a kid. But I think I went through the last prep I did was in 2020. And I think I developed a lot of food allergies because I was only eating chicken breasts, white rice, egg whites, like broccoli. Like that was like only eating like 5 different things. And I ended up getting like, I'm from Wisconsin, so big dairy state. I couldn't do any milk. I couldn't do dairy after that. Like I was super intolerant to everything.
So it's funny that you bring up the dairy thing. So I can get away with cheese on a cheeseburger, but aside from that, I don't eat dairy, and I've like developed a dairy intolerance as well. I remember the one year I did the year I turned pro in Vancouver, by the time my wife got off stage, I think it was like 11:30 p.m. So by the time I go and shower the spray tan off, like all the restaurants were closed or closing. So I was like, I want to eat something. I was staying with family in Vancouver, and I made myself a bowl of cereal. And I just had like regular milk and like Honey Nut Cheerios. I was crippled. I was like in the fetal position. Like my stomach was rock hard. I was in so much pain, and it was from the milk.
Oh shit!
I just like developed an intolerance to it. But it's weird. I can get away with like a slice of cheese on a burger, but yeah, I can't. Like you give me a glass of milk to drink right now, I don't know. I'm gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
It's because cereal is like one of my favorite meals after I get off
Yeah,
stage.
man, I used to love cereal, and I still do, but I just don't eat it anymore.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Did you say Chex?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I like my go-to is Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, okay. So like if I do cereal, like I'll have like Chex cereal, but it's got to be like oat milk or almond milk.
I got you.
Yeah.
So I'll drink oat milk in my coffee.
Yeah, I do oat milk in my coffee as well.
Mm-hmm.
But for a bowl of cereal, nah, I got to get dirty. Keep it dirty. Hold me
No.
up.
Dude, I can't. It cripples me.
Brutal. Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if there's some way you can like microdose the some sort of like lactose into your diet to prevent you from developing that intolerance.
Yeah, I think it
Tony
just
was
over
laughing
time.
about microdosing.
You
I'm
just
like,
gotta
no.
inject into your vein.
IV some cheese.
I want to be able to taste it. Like ice cream, forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Oh, yeah. My son, he's lactose, but you can't keep him away from ice cream.
Yeah.
He's like, as long as there's a bathroom around, it's okay.
No.
Like, all right.
Get
Hey,
that
man,
some lactate.
Yeah, if he's okay, then yeah.
Like, I guess.
Funny.
Yeah.
Just
I
like
had
you
that
did
with
this to yourself.
Yeah,
I had
dude,
that with beef.
it's not even that it like runs through me. It bloats me really bad. I get like bloated. Like my stomach was literally like hard to the touch after I had that bowl of cereal.
That just sounds weird.
Yeah,
It sounds like crap.
That's a different
Yeah.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't
Well,
fun.
No, it sounds terrible. That's like me after pizza.
Hey, Josh, I sent you a text too.
Oh yeah, a text or like a
Yeah,
Instagram
either one
text?
on Instagram. Just about the pickup and drop off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah,
I was like, she's like blowing me up.
yeah. I don't notice things. So
No, you're good.
do you already have to head out?
Yeah. I was
Shoot,
supposed
man.
to about 20 minutes ago.
Oh man, okay.
No, you're good. Just got to pick up the little dude.
Yeah, I got you. We've got quite a few Q&As, so I'll probably just run Cody through some questions and answers, and then we can probably end it.
Got you.
So, I guess Tonio, for you, real quick, how's prep going? You said you're going to do the Legion. I think the last time we talked, you were looking at doing, was it Toronto or Vancouver?
Vancouver.
Yeah, Vancouver.
Yeah, I wanted to do Chicago and Vancouver.
But now you're kind of adjusting it for a little bit.
I actually don't know if Vancouver has open this year. You'll have to
can't
check the
find it.
schedule.
No, I can't
Yeah.
find it.
You know what? I didn't see it on there.
Yeah, I think they just have like bikini, maybe men's physique. I don't even think they have classic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Shows are changing.
Yeah, unless it's going to get updated. But you know what? So there's a group of guys out there. I don't know if you're familiar with like Ron Partlow and like Dusty Hanshaw.
Sure, yeah.
Ron owns a gym there called West Coast Iron. They put on a show called the Van City Showdown. So the Vancouver Pro that you're thinking of happens in, I think it's July, beginning of July.
Right.
The West Coast boys, they put on the Van City Showdown in the fall. It's right before the Olympia. They actually had 212 in 2022. That's the Vancouver show that I did in 2022.
Okay.
They did a great job. So if I know it's a little bit different here in Canada. So if that summer show, Vancouver show has open, for example, then Van City can't have open.
Well,
If she doesn't have open this year, they might even pick it up.
got you. Okay.
Yeah.
That'd
So
be big.
they did a great job with that show. It's in a great venue. It's closer to Vancouver. Yeah, they do a good job. A fellow 212er, Steven Didoshak, he's actually one of the co-promoters of that show. Yeah, they do a good job.
I remember that show when it came out, the pine wood floors and the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
I think I put it out there because I was covering that show. I said, one of the best lit shows
backdrop.
I've ever seen.
Yep, they do
Phenomenal.
the black backdrop.
The color
They do a good
palette
job.
with the green. It was, they did a phenomenal job. So I would love to see open there.
Yeah, I think they would kill it. They're all bodybuilders. All the guys that promote that show, they're all bodybuilders. So,
well, Tony, if you got to jump off, man, we appreciate you making the time. We know you.
Yeah, got you, man.
You big
Nice
men
meeting
open
you.
guys.
nice
are
to meet
always
you too,
busy.
brother.
And then we'll catch up. Let me know how it goes. Peace out.
Yeah.
I got a road trip to make.
Well, have fun. Drive safe.
All right,
Stay
drive safe,
hydrated.
bro.
I see
Don't
you guys.
forget your meal.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna stop and grab fast food.
I get one cheat tonight before prep starts tomorrow too. So
Right.
Make it worth it.
All right, guys. All right,
Tell
see
ya.
you guys.
That's funny.
that reminds me. Yeah, I gotta cheat tonight too.
Mm-hmm. My
What
whole
time
life's
is
a
it?
cheat. So
I'll probably do Five Guys.
yeah,
Five Guys or sushi. We'll see.
yeah. Everyone does Five Guys. I've always wondered, is it just the simplicity of the burger and the fries and
Acting or they kind of miss the mark. They're just
a little
consistent.
cold or, yeah.
Yeah. So like if I'm listen, if I'm going to have a cheat meal, it needs to be done right. So I'm going to play safe every time. So that's what it is for me. And again, like I said, it digests well. I don't, sometimes you go somewhere else, it's a little bit greasier and then it sits in your stomach and you know, it messes with your digestion. Keeping appetite and digestion on point is like at the top of the priority list for me, because once appetite becomes impeded and, digestion becomes hindered, then it's, especially in the off season, it's an uphill battle trying to get it in check again because you're eating so much food. So if you're having a cheat meal if you're having a cheat meal that's impeding digestion or hindering your appetite, then it's completely counterintuitive.
What's the trick on appetite? Because mine got nuked over the holidays. I was doing maybe 2 meals a day. And now I'm trying to get back into...
They were probably like, you were having meals with family and whatnot, right? Over the holidays, like they were bigger meals. So that's typically what happens. So when I did all my family meals, I was still making sure I was on top of my other meals because that helps regulate the metabolism. And when your body's in an atmosphere where, you're eating every, 2.5, 3 hours, as soon as you step away from that and now you're eating more calorie dense meals, but you're just having less of them, it's an adjustment for your body to go through. And then that's usually where people go wrong and appetite starts to become hindered because you eat like a big family breakfast meal, right? And then you're not hungry for 5-6 hours. And then you're going to eat another big meal. You might have dessert. And then people, over the holidays, they end up eating 2, maybe 3 meals. And then again, like if you're in the off season, now we're working to get that appetite back, stimulate that appetite again. And then again, hopefully digestion doesn't become impeded at all. So digestive enzymes that's where they come into play. Taking probiotics help. Berberine, if you're having like a lot of carbs, that can help as well. But just, forcing yourself to get back on that regular diet regimen can be tricky, especially when calories are high. So that's to bring it full circle around to our point with the cheat meals. That's why I just keep it consistent.
Yep, absolutely. The less we're creatures of habits. So the less variables that we have in our life, the better.
100%. Yeah.
Same with me being a military man. Like I love structure. So if I can get my day down to at this time I do this. I mean, even at work, I have every hour or every 30 minutes sometimes. I have my entire team's calendar blocked off with just different like random tasks that I have programmed in so that I always know I can do something. I'm never bored.
I need structure. I thrive in structure.
When I'm free to do whatever I want, that's where my like failed willpower and lack of discipline, that's where it starts to take over. And
yes,
you notice you're like on the phone for 2 hours scrolling. Watching some random.
I've caught myself doom scrolling before, man, and like I can just feel my brain melting. So
it's like a numb, weird feeling afterwards. You're like, I need to go look in the distance and like center myself.
So when I get up in the morning now, this is something I've been working on for a while. When I get up in the morning, I try not to open my phone until like I've ate or like done fed the dogs, started my food. Sometimes it's tricky with cardio because I'm listening to music, but I try not to get up and then open my phone. And then usually when 9 p.m. comes around, my phone goes away.
That's so hard.
Yeah, I find like later at night too, if I can put my phone away, it helps me feel more present, like with my wife. And because I'm on my phone so much throughout the day, I make a living on my phone.
Yeah, with coaching.
Yeah, with coaching, with posting, on social media. So I when I can, I try to put it away. And like when over the holidays, being with family, I try to be as present as possible. So phone goes away during family time as much as possible.
I could very much relate to that. I can't attribute my YouTube channel BNN. I can't attribute all of it to that, but I had a failed marriage where I was trying to make YouTube videos every day. So I'm doing Nick Strength and Power type videos. You spend the whole day at work scrolling, trying to find stories or something interesting to talk about. And then you record, and then you spend about 2 hours editing, posting, doing the thumbnails, doing the search engine optimization. You spend all that time doing that stuff. You have no time for your wife. So
and like next thing you know, the day's gone. Like when you're like hyper focused like that, time flies. And the whole structure thing, like when I'm in I'm like structured year round, but this is another reason I like being in contest prep, because when I'm in prep, I become hyper focused and I become more productive in all areas of my life.
Yes. Yep. That's how it works. That's how I feel right now with getting on that RP hypertrophy app. Is I feel like that was the catalyst, and now everything's starting to form around it. The meals, journaling, reading, learning a second language, all that stuff's everything's falling into place now. Whereas I didn't have the structure, but all I needed was that one spark,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a domino effect
of success. Yeah. Yeah, I was actually, I was watching one of Mike Israel's videos talking about that. And he was talking about the importance of when you start doing that, when you start a prep and you have that, like you said, the domino effect of success, it's about managing expectations and not doing too much too fast. Because what I've noticed in my life is I always, the way my brain works, hyperfixation on stuff, for me, it leads to me doing it, trying to optimize everything. And then I burn out. And then next thing you know, you don't want to do a bodybuilding prep for me. It's been, going on 4 or 5 years now. So it's like figuring that part out where you're doing just enough. I mean, you're a pro bodybuilder. You know how to manage expectations. But for the layman, it's definitely a very dangerous, slope.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So for people watching, manage your expectations. Also for people watching, we have quite a few questions we got to run through. I don't even know if you or Tonio got sent messages directly, especially if you did something on your stories. You might have gotten some.
Yeah, I posted up on my story. I'm bad at checking message requests. That's something I need to be better
bro,
at.
you gotta put when you share this on your story, make sure you put the little question box, and then it'll show you all the replies. So then you don't have to dig through individual messages.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Because otherwise you'll just get 30 messages randomly, and you have to go through all the.
I know, and you know what? I feel bad whenever messages go to my message requests and I don't see it.
It's gone forever.
Yeah, because sometimes the message request gets obliterated with I made a post on my threads the other day, and the sex bots are out in full force again now on Instagram. It's crazy.
Yep.
And then message requests they get lost in those.
Yes, they do. It's always looking for husband ?
Yeah,
come on, guys.
Click my link.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Josh Wagner was asking you, if you clean bulk, eat in a caloric surplus, but do it with a healthy and balanced diet with clean foods, can you gain muscle mass without gaining any of the excess fat that comes with a dirty bulk?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on that, and that's the stylistic approach that Neil and I have. It's primarily the same clean foods day in and day out, but we also add in 2 cheats a week. And to touch on the digestion part that you and I were just talking about, we build up to that. We don't just start off season and it's like, okay, we're doing 2 cheats a week now. We might go a month. We might go 6, 7, 8 weeks without a cheat meal. But once we're confident that, appetite is in check, or appetite is healthy, digestion's in check, then we'll start throwing in the cheat meals, because the cheat meals are they're used as a refeed, right? Training's going well. Lifts are progressing, strength is improving. It can be a recovery aid as well, help with sleeps. And so, yeah, that's the way that Neil and I do things. And it works well. It works well for me. And then you got freaks of nature like Tonio that can get away with eating. It's not even that get away. He almost has to eat more calorie dense meals or cheat meals, if you will. Looking at my photos, my body composition is pretty good. So I could probably almost benefit from adding a little bit more calorie dense meals in as well. But like I mentioned before, Neil and I, keeping that midsection tight is at the top of the priority list, because if I were to blow out my waistline, that's it for me. That's pretty much a career ender for me, unless I were to be able to bring it back in. But a lot of guys, once that midsection's gone, that waistline is blown out, that's it. So if I'm going to have, a fighting chance at, standing next to someone like Keon, my waistline absolutely has to be tight.
Yes.
Or there's no chance.
That's the vibe right now. And I would say most men's divisions, if not every men's division, is the tapered X factor.
Yeah, bodybuilding, especially open, it kind of was going a certain direction for a while where it was, the mass was at the focal point, the forefront. And we kind of started to lose the aesthetics a little bit. But I think bodybuilding is in an amazing place right now.
Very
you
healthy.
you got, the Andrew Jacks, the Samson Dauda, Derek, Hadi, those guys in the open. We got Keon. And like I said, there's a lot of new talent in the 212 as well. And these guys have beautiful shape and structure.
Yeah, I'd say everyone outside the top 5, most of those were new names to me. So I was blown away with this year's results for 212.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Oli from Ukraine. He's coming back, a fellow Ukrainian. I didn't know you were Ukrainian. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, my last name's actually pronounced Drobot. Yeah.
Drobot. Is that how you want people to say it?
Everyone says Drobot.
I was going to say
I've said Drobot since I was a kid. Yeah. But yeah, it's Ukrainian.
Yeah, I knew that, but yeah, the Oli's coming back next year after that. It's like a quad tear or something, or a bicep tear.
Yeah, he was in the hospital for a while. Some kind of tear or something.
Yeah, I remember seeing it, but I just blew my mind.
He won New York last year.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be, and he probably would have placed 4th, 5th. Probably him and Kareth would have been battling for that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Kareth is. Yeah. I love Kareth, a fellow Neil. What do you call it?
Y3T athlete. Yeah. Dude, Kareth and his wife, awesome people, man. Kareth was very, very welcoming and very supportive of me when I made my pro debut season. I met him in Tampa. He was very welcoming to me in Tampa, and then I got to spend a little bit more time with him in Texas. Great guy. I can't say enough good things about him.
Yeah, class act. His wife actually waved me down at the Olympia because I can't remember if I was the very first person to interview, but I know I was one of like the first 3, and she bumped into me at the Olympia and then waved Kareth over to say hi, and we couldn't get an interview in because I think they said they were too busy, but they just said they wanted to like make sure that I saw that they saw me, and I thought that was such a cool from the media side. It's such a cool moment for me.
Yeah, they're really nice. My wife was with me in Texas and Tampa, and they were really nice to her too. Lori is his partner.
I was gonna say it was either Lori or Laurel. I was like, I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, Lori. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Yeah.
No, phenomenal. Yeah, I think
it's always good. I think it's always good to see like power couples, if you will, in the industry. Yeah,
it goes back to what we were talking about with Kareth and his lady. It's amazing what a man can do with a strong woman in his corner.
Yep.
Not even in the corner, but just like
Amanda,
side by side.
Yeah.
It's I wouldn't be mentally in the space I am without my lady. So
yeah,
it's
the man that you see before you right now doesn't exist without my wife.
Can't
His
say
version
enough
of
about
me
that.
anyway.
Right. Let's see. Dante Janik asked your favorite bicep movement, optimal training split for hypertrophy, and how to grow stubborn calves.
Man, calves. I'm still not happy with my calves. They've come a long way.
Yeah.
But I take the kitchen sink approach with calves. You throw everything at it. Like I've tried, like I wouldn't say there's one, at least for me. And of course, this is going to be different for everyone. Some people will have a genetic ability to put on tissue more efficiently than others. Some people just have body parts that stand out more than others. For me, I've had to do everything from heavyweight to heavyweight, lower rep, to a little bit lighter weight, high rep. Now I'm at a point where I'm going heavy and trying to get as many reps as possible, really slowing down the negatives. Like we walk in our calves every day, right? So they're built for endurance, slow twitch muscle fibers. So it's just basically finding a way to aggravate that tissue as much as you can. So something I'm working on right now, and this isn't just specific to my calves, it's in all muscle groups, is really slowing down those eccentrics and controlling that the negative portion of the movement. And that, I think that's something that just, it builds dense Favorite bicep movement? It's hard for me to pick a favorite movement in anything, if I'm completely honest. When I was younger, I used to watch videos of Ronnie Coleman, and he was always doing 21s with like a barbell. So 7 bottom half, 7 top half, and then 7 full range. That's something that I used to do religiously. Now I've been doing a lot of like seated cable curls, bicep cable curls, just because it's pardon?
From the rear?
Yes,
like
yes,
with
exactly.
Behind you?
Yeah, it's almost like a drag curl. So I'm doing a lot of those, but yeah, again, it's hard for me to narrow down like a favorite exercise that I have for any muscle group, really. I wish I had a more precise answer. So I'm sorry if you asked that question and you're listening right now. I wish I could pick one.
Dante Janik.
Yeah, I'll say currently right now, probably my favorite bicep exercises would be like a seated cable curl.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
and then optimal training split for hypertrophy is pretty. It's like a cop-out answer if I say it's specific to each person.
Yeah, which again, like right now for me personally, we've been working on bringing up my legs and bringing up my chest. So I've been hitting chest and legs twice a week. But it's usually kind of like a push-pull legs approach.
I know no one's asking me, but I'm doing a push-pull, rest, push-pull with a focus on chest and back development. But then the hypertrophy app has it where it feeds in arms and legs every day. So I'm either doing a quad dominant movement or a hamstring dominant movement every day. It's been brutal, but I think it's what I need to get back on track.
Yeah, I mean, like as long as like you're recovering
Recovery's
still,
good. Yeah,
that's the main thing, man. If you're recovering still, then yeah, keep doing it. Right now, so for me, it's been like chest and triceps, and then I'll do a shoulder and calves, and then it's usually quads and like quad dominant with hamstrings, and then rest. I do a 3-in-1 split, and then it'll be chest again, then back and biceps. It'll be chest and calves, and then back and biceps. And then hamstring dominant with quads. But sometimes I'll throw in an extra calf day. I'm usually hitting calves 3 times a week.
Yeah. Do you ever notice a difference between seated and standing calves, like for control, contractions, pump?
My gym, so the gym that I train at here in town, shout out Iron Lore, they recently got an Arsenal Strength donkey press.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite calf pieces.
I haven't seen a donkey press in 6 years.
Yeah,
5 years.
I haven't seen a donkey press in forever, but we got one fortunately, and I was so pumped when we got it because I hit that thing a lot. We also have an Atlantis seated calf press, but it pivots, so it's all ankle flexion.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, so you're not like you're actually like pushing your toes down on a platform, and you're moving the platform. Whereas, traditionally it's usually you're like lifting your heels. Yeah. You're actually pushing this platform down, and then it comes up, and then you're pushing it back down again. It's really nice. And then they have an Atlantis standing calf press as well.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Wow. Okay. Apologies on this name. Lukas Ritowski. He's asking, what's your guys' take on sponsorships and how do you approach them?
So, rule of thumb, it's got to be a brand that you believe in. Not only a brand that the reason I say it's a brand that you believe in and a brand that like suits you well, because if you're going to take on a sponsorship simply for monetary purposes and that's it, I don't feel like it's sustainable to promote that authentically. I also think it's important to be authentic with the people that follow and support you. And eventually, if you're promoting something that you don't believe in, people will catch on. People will eventually see through it. So BSN was a cool one for me. It was a full circle moment. Okay, so my first ever supplement sponsor was actually 5% Nutrition. Rich Piana actually came to Edmonton where I live, and I trained with him. And then that Vancouver show that I was talking about in 2015 invited me, or he saw that I was there, so he invited me to the booth because Rich had a booth with 5%. And so I went by the booth and we talked, and we ended up getting a workout in, and then he signed me. So that was my first ever sponsorship. And then I ended up signing with Steel in 2017. So I was with 5% Nutrition for 2 years. And then I was with Steel for just shy of 6 years. And then when BSN reached out to me after I made my pro debut, and that was really tough for me because the relationship that I built with Steel and everyone that worked at Steel was very personal. Paul Hull was one of my groomsmen at my wedding. That's how close I became with them. Jason Hull is someone that I could pick up and text right now. We wish each other happy birthday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff. I left on a really good note with them. Jason was very supportive, actually. He actually gave me some advice in negotiating my contract. But yeah, that was bittersweet for me because I felt like it was like a family at Steel.
Yeah.
I've now built a similar relationship with the people at BSN. I'm very, very close with the team. Everyone's great people. It's a great team of guys and girls and management. But it was a cool full circle moment for me because when I first got into bodybuilding, the first ever pre-workout I took was NO Explode.
Yep.
And I used to save I was in junior high school. I would save my money. I would work for the town in the summer. There was a family that I farmed with as well, but I would save all my money and I would buy like NO Explode. And so when they reached out to me after I made my pro debut, it was crazy because they were the first pre-workout product that I ever took. BSN actually brought the first pre-workout product to market. Fun fact. Yeah. And then at the time, my favorite bodybuilder was Flex Lewis. And so I used to pick up magazines and I would see Flex and Neil in magazines and they were both BSN athletes. Fast forward to now, I'm a BSN athlete and Neil Hill's my coach. And Flex Lewis, for those that don't know this, Flex Lewis is the one that put me in touch with Neil. So it was like a super cool full circle moment for me when I signed with them. I worked really hard to put myself in this position, but I'm very, very, I recognize how fortunate I am, and I'm very grateful to be with this brand now. They're a massive company.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I think the first protein I remember ever having was after basic training. I went from Fort Benning to Fort Gordon, and I went to the GNC there, and I got a 6-pound tub of strawberry synthesics.
Okay, yeah.
And that was like the branding was perfect. The clearish red big tub, and I'm like, it looks amazing. And I got that. I got the NO Explode. I got the Jack 3D when it still had the Fedra in it or whatever it was.
Yeah, they had all kinds of stuff in there.
2013.
So you guys in the States, even like our NO Explode Vaso, for example, has Yohimbe in it. And we can't get that in Canada. So there's a lot of, thankfully, being a BSN athlete, they just ship directly to me. But like the original Jack 3D, that lasted like 6 months in Canada before that was pulled off the shelf here by the FDA. So there's usually like a 6-month grace period before the FDA comes sniffing around and they're like, wait a second, you can't have this, get that out of here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those were good times.
Yeah, I don't know what they were putting in that, but that was crazy.
It was DMAA, DMHA, oh man, I was a big stim head. When I first got into YouTube, I was doing supplement reviews. That was my thing.
Okay.
And I would spend $200 a month just buying pre-workouts on Amazon and from random places. And I remember anything that had DMAA or DMHA in it, I was like, I need that. And holy crap, you'd stay up all night off some of that stuff. Just like 600 milligrams of caffeine with all this other stuff dumped into it. And you're just like.
I remember a buddy of mine, a really close friend of mine, he was another one of my groomsmen. And the Bear Boys. So Isaac was my best man, and then his brother Vincent was one of my groomsmen. But Isaac is a couple years older. So Vince and I, we would save up our money, and then we would use his mom's credit card, and we would just give his mom cash. But we would use his mom's credit card, and we would order hundreds of dollars in supplements every month.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good times.
Good times.
Huh. And now everyone's just buying bum and stuff off of Walmart shelves.
What he's done is incredible.
And it's good too.
And he's branded himself, and that's the smartest thing that he's done too, is that, because I'm sure, like I've heard Ian mention some of the brands that have approached him do collaborations or whatever. Watching what he's done and the way he moves is smart. And I think that's a testament to how his parents raised him too.
Gotta be.
Yeah, even Melissa, like, they've both done really well for themselves.
Yeah, that's like a generational type of thing.
To see someone like Chris obtain the level of fame that he obtained at the age that he did and managed to keep his head on straight is like, I met Chris in 2015. He's the same guy, older, smarter, wiser, but he never changed, man. And I think that, in my opinion, is the most impressive thing about him.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes financial success is just a catalyst to become a better version of yourself, or to just allow you to do more things, but still be the same person.
Yeah. And a lot of the times, more often than not, it goes the other way.
Yeah. Yep. Once you get accessibility to finances you've never had before, you start bumping into other stuff. So I get it. Man, good stuff. Yeah, super excited. I thought that there was I guess we didn't talk about bodybuilding politics at all in this episode, which is actually kind of a nice thing. But seeing what I thought was a ball being dropped from the Olympia not giving Chris that win in Europe at the Prague, or was it whatever the show was? I really thought they were I thought they were going to give him that win so that he could end with the Open Olympia.
So, to be honest, I think they made the right decision.
They did make the right call. I thought they would.
Yeah, I was interested to see, because I watched that show. I wasn't there in person, but I streamed it. And like, I knew Chris was going to come in on point. He always comes in on point. He was there with Hani, so I knew he was going to come in on point. But I was starting to think after prejudging, maybe he was going to win. You could hear me burp there. I hope you can't.
Nope. Just the breathing.
But when Martin came back for finals and they ended up giving Martin the win, I think it was the right decision, because at the end of the day, that's open bodybuilding, right? I think obviously shape and structure and aesthetics and all of that comes into account, and Martin has beautiful shape and structure as well. But when they stand next to each other, like, Chris is phenomenal. There's no one that can dispute that. He's phenomenal. But the density and the size difference, it was noticeable when him and Martin stood next to each other. So I think Martin deserved that win, in my opinion. And this is the thing with bodybuilding, man, is bodybuilding is so subjective. There might have been if there was a different judging panel that day, they might have scored it differently. They could have had Chris win, and that's just the way that bodybuilding goes.
Yeah. Sometimes you have guys like the New York is historically more of a mass monster show, whereas something like the Cali Pro is more symmetry, lines, proportions. So at least in the open, right? In the open.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I think it just depends who's on the judging panel and who the head judge is.
100%. Yeah. I think that was all the other stuff going on right now. I don't see a lot of value in even talking about it. There's just weird dramas and
people like to yeah, dude, this comes
like
full circle.
Garbage,
Yeah, this comes full circle around to, like, my comment about like some of the bodybuilding casuals. And then, dude, to be honest, man, I understand the need and want for engagement and clicks and whatnot, right, because that's the name. Yes, that's the name of the game in the social media atmosphere. But I think some of these bodybuilding pages, if I'm being honest, they take it too far, and it drums up a lot of negativity. It stirs up a lot of hate. And I think it's pretty shitty to see sometimes. Like I'll give you a perfect example. When Breon made the announcement that he's moving to 212 from Classic.
Awesome. Yeah.
I think that's great. I think it's great.
Full circle. He's coming home.
Yeah, Breon's a phenomenal bodybuilder. He came from the 212 division. Obviously, he's restricted by a weight cap. I think it's a great decision. At the end of the day, he's a competitor. So, in that he has been restricted by a weight cap for so long, I can only assume he wants to see what will happen if he no longer has to squeeze into that cap. I'm not sure what his weight is. I think his cap is probably around like 192 or something.
Can't be much, yeah.
But, now that he won't have to, now that ceiling comes up, his physique is going to change. The package that he brings to the stage is going to change. And I think that's exciting. But when you go look at the comments, and some of these pages are immediately comparing him to Keon, and a lot of the comments are, they're so negative, talking about he's never going to beat Keon, and Rion has never once said he's coming to 212 to beat Keon.
Right.
But that's a narrative that gets like drummed up. And then the unfortunate result of that is entire comment threads just talking down about the guy. And I think that is shitty to see. But again, I mentioned it earlier. I don't think those are the people that are legitimately coming to bodybuilding shows. Those aren't the people that are coming to the Olympia or coming to watch New York or any of these other shows. These are just casual bodybuilding fans. I use the term fan loosely. In my opinion, if you're a fan of bodybuilding, you're not like shitting on these guys and girls and like, stirring up all this hate and negativity. I think it's super unfortunate to see sometimes. I think it's good to create, to have fan favorites and, to create somewhat of like, like we're seeing a lot of like Nick versus Derek right now. What's going to be the outcome of that when those two step on stage at the Arnold? And I think that's great. Stuff like that's great for the sport. But this guy will never beat this guy and he's shit compared to him, and why even bother? That's the stuff that I don't like to see.
Why even bother?
Yeah.
It's the sport that we love. Like we love seeing these guys get on stage, and we love seeing the comparison. So why dismiss a 2-time Olympia champion from wanting to bring that talent to a division that I think frankly needs it? And
I've seen like regional level 20-year-olds telling a former Olympia champion that he's like wasting his time or like retire already and saying stuff like that. I'm like, you're just entering into this industry, and this is the step forward that you're taking. You're talking down to Olympians. I wouldn't dream of talking down to Olympians or saying anything like even remotely close to what some of these kids are saying to pros online when I was first getting into this. I wouldn't do it now either. But I think that's a byproduct of like the social media era. A lot of these kids are growing up with like Instagram in their hands, and it's just a lot of these people that are saying these comments online would never ever say these things to these people in real life.
No.
So
that's an important thing to think of. I know I've given comparisons and feedback on competitors where I'll say, there's no way I saw the guy in the top 5, and then they'll place 4th. And I'm like, I don't see it. And then I'll do like comparisons like, this guy should have beat this guy. Look at these parts, look at the proportions. It makes no sense. But I'm not there.
Yeah, but that, sorry, not to interrupt you, but that kind of comparison is normal. That's normal, and it's a part of the industry. Like I said, bodybuilding is subjective. It's okay to have favorites, and it's okay to have opinions about guys, but that's not what we're referring to with some of what we're seeing online. No,
it's I think it just comes back to a money thing. Some of these pages, I know most of them, most of the big ones. I'm not gonna say names, but they're making money off of talking about people beating people up in gyms and people hairing biceps and people getting divorces and people getting caught cheating on DMs and stuff. It's like, it's not my last channel, Bodybuilding News Network. Our ethos is advocate for athletes and promote shows. That's been our ethos since inception in like 2019. So I try to take that same energy here with Monday Morning Muscle. Is I'm here to promote Tonio and get his name out there and help him have cool conversations with other athletes. That's it. So when I see other people doing stuff that doesn't line up with that, I'm not a fan. It's dragging bodybuilding through the mud.
Yeah, it shines a negative light. And it's weird to me.
Yep. I'd like to see people say the stuff that they say, because I've talked to Brian a couple times in person at the LA Fit Expo.
Great guy.
Phenomenal. Very well spoken.
Yep.
Amazing personality. Like,
he's a great ambassador for the sport.
Yeah. Very clean cut, professional. It's just unfortunate what some people say. Or Regan. Everyone's talking crap about Regan. Like every year it's the same thing, man.
I don't know what it is about the Regan hate, but he has got to be one of those guys in the industry that gets more unnecessary hate than anyone I see, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Is it people just mad that he's not Jay Cutler yet? Like, is that the thing?
Well, I think because Regan's my age, and in a bodybuilding atmosphere, 31 is still young.
You're like, just getting into the peak.
You're like prime years of bodybuilding is like mid-30s. That's when the muscles matured. That's when you've built like dense muscle. He's still young, but I just feel like Regan has been around. He's had someone following him with a camera since he was a teenager. And so he's been in like the spotlight for a long time. And so I think people place like they have like a certain expectation of him. And if he doesn't live up to that expectation, then like, oh, he'll never live up to what he could be, and he should, you know what I mean? Like they just hate on him. If you take a step back and look at what Regan has done for himself, he's a successful guy. He has a partner and he's a father, and he makes a good living for himself. Like everyone can't be Mr. Olympia. You know what I mean? And Regan is one of those guys that has potential to be a Mr. Olympia, but people want it now. People want him to be Mr. Olympia now. And if he's not winning every show that he does, then he's a failure, which is ridiculous. It's silly. But yeah, that poor guy, man. He takes it with stride, like he takes it in stride, but he gets a lot of hate, and I've never understood.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny that you brought that up because I see it all the time, and it's for years, and he's such a nice guy too. I met him when we were juniors in 2015. Yeah, really nice guy.
Well, if the missus would let me hang my posters, I have an autographed poster from Regan Grimes at the same LAF Expo I met Brian at.
Yeah, I think he's in Canada right now, but I think actually he's heading back to Vegas here shortly. He just started prep for New York as well.
Yep, I saw Joe Siemens doing it. I saw a couple guys confirm in New York.
Going to be a handful of Canadians there. Yep,
I love to see it.
Yeah, it's going to be good, man. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably. Did you have any other questions they sent to you? I know we're getting long in the tooth here.
I don't think so. I do have to eat right away though.
I'm dying right now. And I didn't put socks on, so my toes are cold. My little piggies are cold. Too funny.
But yeah, dude, if that's everything, man, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Plug your Instagram, plug your sponsors. I know we've talked in depth about them already.
Yeah. Shout out Iron Rebel. They've been great. I'm moving on to my second year with them. I've been with BSN now for 2 years, just over 2 years now. So I'm looking forward to, having a good season with both of them. They've both been really good to me. And shout out Iron Lore Gym here in Beaumont, Alberta. And the owners, Aaron and Eleni Gosvik, amazing people, man. They actually opened this gym because of what we were going through with the lockdowns. And initially they opened this gym. It was going to be their own home gym.
Wow.
They leased a space, or they bought a space, and Aaron approached me and he was like, hey man, listen, he's like, I know you haven't been able to train, but I'm going to be opening this spot, because back then it was completely private. It wasn't open to the public, but he opened up this spot and was like, hey, come train. So I'll forever be grateful to him and his wife for allowing my wife and I to train there. That's my home gym. I got to give another shout out to the Den Fitness. They're another gym here in Edmonton, Alberta. Very close friends of mine, Tyler, Dylan, and Braden. They all had a dream, pulled their money together, and opened this gym, and they're doing a great job, man. It's a space full of a lot of really cool equipment, some pieces that you won't find in any other gym, some old Cybex equipment, and yeah, it's another really cool atmosphere. And one's inspiring because again, they're just young guys with a dream and went for it, and it's a super cool place to train. Between the Den and Iron Lore, yeah, I have two really good spots to train at here, which I'm super fortunate for.
That's nice.
And also, shout out Flavor Gang. I recently signed with Flavor Gang. Braden, actually, one of the owners of the Den, he runs Flavor Gang Canada here. So that's where I get all my cream of rice and all my prep sauces. So shout out to Flavor Gang Canada. And yeah, man, we're ready to rock and roll on Monday. Prep is officially underway for the New York Pro. So
New York Pro.
Hopefully we can pull off a dub there. Either way, like I said, the goal is to make it on stage for the Olympia. So when I do get that first pro win, I'll have to come back on here and we'll have to run it back and catch up some more.
100%. And we could probably bring on who's the guy you battled with? Mike Connell.
Yeah.
We'll bring back Mike Connell too.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Cool.
Yeah, maybe I'll even bring on the missus. She's making her pro debut in Pittsburgh, and then she'll be doing New York with me as well.
That'd be good. Yeah, pull a chair up.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
So,
well,
all right,
Cody,
brother.
thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and then of course, shout out to Dragon Farmer for taking care of Tonio. This last prep, phenomenal company, great guys. We really do appreciate them. So, and the cool merch. Thank you. So. That's it for us. Thank you for watching, everybody. Make sure you check out Cody Drobot. I know I said his name wrong on Instagram and YouTube. Follow his YouTube. It's there. I watched an update from him back in June. So
you know what?
it exists.
I do get active on there. I need to do a better job at staying more active on it in the off season, but I'm pretty active on there during contest prep. Obviously, things are more exciting. I have more to show you in contest prep, but I'm hoping I can move down to sunnier, warmer weather, and I can stay active on there in the off season as well. But yeah, thanks again for having me on, and I look forward to coming back.
Of course. All right,
brother.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.